Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. I've got the Economic Ninja here with me, and we're going to be talking about silver. Can you buy silver now and wait for it to go up and then trade it for a car later? I've got some people that are trying to buy cars for their daughter or son, whoever it is, their kids, and they were wondering if they could buy silver now and wait for the price to go up.
Yeah.
What do you, before I say what I want to say about it, what do you think?
So, I don't know, have you ever heard of the WebBot data from Cliff High?
Yes, I have.
Yeah, it's an interesting bit of information, but one of the deals that came out of the WebBot, I want to say like in 2009, 2010, was that there were people trading massive, like just a stack of silver coins for luxury cars, right? And that shouldn't be any crazy revelation, because if you would have bought a bunch of gold coins, you know, in let's say 1999, gold was sitting around 200, 225 bucks, and you had those now, and you'd bought, let's say, 10 of those gold coins, you know, back then for what, 2,500, 3,000 bucks, 10 gold coins.
Right.
Well, what's that worth, right? So you could take a stack of gold coins right now, 10 gold coins, and, you know, go out and literally, you know, buy an $18,000, $20,000 car. So it shouldn't be any crazy revelation that that would be happening. But the problem is that so many people are confused with the timing, or they get so impatient. You know, they want those deals now. And as we're starting to see car prices coming down finally, I think it's going to be a cascade waterfall in 2023. But I think there's going to be a lot of people that can't wait. They go out because they think they just got a deal because it's 10% or 20% lower than the inflated prices that are, you know, 30, 40% higher than what they were 3 years ago, and they're going to lose out on that really good deal.
Well, you said a lot when you said timing, because if you're, you know, if your kids need a car to get to work in college or whatever, you can't. I mean, a year might go by and silver could go down. I mean, and then what?
All right, let's talk about that, because you brought up a great example. Hey, my kids are going to school, they need a car. I'm going to be honest with you. When I was going to school, the idea of what type of car the average kid drove and what they're driving now is night and day.
Yeah,
I literally have a friend, I have multiple friends. They are not wealthy, okay? They make six figures, all right? Let's say they make between $100,000 and $140,000 a year. And they're literally going out and paying payments, putting the minimum down, buying brand new $25,000 cars for their kids. And they're saying the exact same phrase: I need a car and my kids need a car. Yeah, they need a Toyota Tercel from literally 1997.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, and so, I mean, that's really, you know, patience is one thing. Perception of value and your monetary compass, for lack of better terms, is a whole nother thing. You know, it's like, what does a kid need? Well, they need 4 wheels, a motor, and a transmission to get to school. You know, and there's so many people that just lie to themselves. Oh, we want them to have the safest car.
Yeah,
so you're like, well, that was the safest car back then. It's like, what's different now? Are they going to get run over by a tank?
So,
sorry, it's just, man, people are just blowing money.
Well, okay, what I would do, if I had to buy a car for a kid, I would probably buy because you can't time it right, so they need a car. So buy one a little less than what they might want. Buy one that will get you by for a while. And if you buy it right, you'll be all right the whole time you're in it. You know, and you can buy things like a Toyota Corolla, or, you know, things that are good for several 100,000 miles, and just get by with that while you're holding silver, you know. And then when it does happen, because I really do believe it will happen. That's why I hate to get on and say, you know, you can't time the market, just buy the car. If you're holding the silver, you don't know when. It might be 2 or 3 years from now. It could go in half. We don't know what we're looking at. We're literally entering the Thunderdome. I mean, these asset prices could really go down. I mean, even gold and silver could go down. So, but the thing is, you've got it, and when it goes up, you'll still have it, and then you can purchase whatever car you want.
Well, you know what's crazy? There's no if, it's when. There's literally zero chance that assets are not going to collapse in price. And the reason why is because the Federal Reserve is going to continue raising rates. And let's say they didn't. Let's say the Federal Reserve stopped raising rates today. Every single time the Federal Reserve has stopped raising rates, they maintained the rate.
Yep.
There's only one time in recent history where they went from raising to lowering in less than 60 days, and that's when Trump came out railing against them, saying the Federal Reserve is trying to crash the markets, which is how they do it. And he was the only president to come out and just screaming and yelling at him, you know, since Kennedy. And so that's the thing. There's no like if these asset prices are going to collapse, because You were just looking at stories like Salesforce announcing that they're laying off like what 10%.
10%.
Yeah, and they're not the only ones. There are companies all over laying people off. There are more people that are about to be getting laid off than being hired, which means there's going to be less money in the system. It's literally a guarantee. The only question is when. How long does it take? And the facts are, it's happening right now. I believe it's going to hit in 2023.
Do you remember? I made a video about it. It might have been 9 months ago. I can't remember. It's a long time ago. Elon Musk was selling Tesla stock. Jeff Bezos was selling Amazon. I mean, these major...
All of them. Bill Gates. Yeah, everybody.
It was like 6 or 7 of the big ones were liquidating a bunch of shares. And I made a video saying, hey, the guys that are on top, the guys that have a bunch of shares have to sell those early, super early. So this is what the wealthy are doing. Please pay attention. And I say that a lot. And now, here we are. Elon Musk just lost $200 billion. He was the first person to lose $200 billion.
And that's before he sold. That's after he sold.
After he sold, yeah.
Yeah, so he would have lost more. But also, what did Elon Musk do in January of 2022? He went to Tesla and said, hey, let's change it to where we can start buying physical gold. And paper gold keep it in our treasury. Wow. So you got to ask yourself this: if that went through Tesla, what do you think Elon Musk does in his personal life?
Oh yeah.
You can only speculate, but I mean it'd probably be a pretty good bet that he owns gold. So you're right; these guys were out there selling their stock before the downturn in the stock market, and the stock market is still down off of its highs. I mean, what did they say? S&P's down like 20% on the year or something like that.
Yeah, you know. And they're going to keep going down.
Yep.
Like you said, when they quit raising interest rates and it's just coasting at a higher interest rate, as people lose their jobs, as asset prices fall, you know, there's just there's no way I would go buy my kid a brand new car to make payments on if I didn't have the money. If you got the money, you know, go for it.
But I got to say, all the people that I know that are doing that, they all either went bankrupt or lost just about everything in 2008. So it's wash, rinse, repeat. So they're never technically gaining any wealth. They'll go to their grave with not a dime. And that's cool. I mean, if that's your deal, just don't walk around pretending you're rich, you know, bashing on people that actually have a savings account, I guess.
Isn't that funny how nobody can remember the bad times?
It is insane to me. Because I mean, I literally lived it. Like, people could sit there and go, yeah, no, I remember what it was like. And like, no, if you were not literally an active investor in the stock market and the real estate market prior to the crash, I'm talking like 2004, 2005, and all throughout that, you really don't understand because, yeah, you saw the effect, you felt the effect, but you didn't see the deterioration of the minds of the investors and the consumers' emotional sentiment just completely crumbling. People don't know what it's like. Like right now, what I'm witnessing is so much worse than what I saw in 2006, 2007. And it gets me pumped. I'm gonna be honest with you, I just get stoked. Like I want to try and get 1 million people on board with us to help them, but it's like you can't. Like this video will probably, I guarantee you, it'll get a comment like, "Oh, it's just so nice. You're excited about, you know, other people losing stuff." I'm like, I've tried to help millions of people. What are you doing? Yeah. Like I'm trying, but it's like at the same time, you can't help everybody. I mean, everybody's got a family member that thinks that you're nuts.
Well, we're not taking advantage of the person. We're taking advantage of the situation that they put themselves in.
That's right.
You know, that's not our fault.
Yeah.
It's just the way it is. But
not at all.
That is a really good takeaway, is nobody remembers the good times when things are bad.
Yeah.
And nobody remembers the bad times when things are good. So as it looks really, really bad, we're going to start thinking about, you know, the future. Try to be really, just know that it's not going to be down forever, just like it's not going to be up forever.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I think, you know, if people are starting to stress, if you're in a position where like, I can't wait for this silver to go up anymore, I got to do something, maybe you shouldn't have bought it in the first place, honestly. I mean, you think about it.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that don't have any wealth to hedge, really.
Yeah, and the way I look at it, all the metal I've ever bought was extra money I had. And I used to use the example, you know, if you don't have money for silver coin, I used to tell this to people I met all the time back in like 2010 to 2014. I'd say, put down the coffee and go buy yourself 2 silver dimes. Well, if now, a year or 2 later, you're going, why hasn't that money gone up? You're like, you remember that was just a cup of coffee that you forgo.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, it's like, if you're freaking out because that hasn't gone up to where you think in value, then you've got some serious financial issues you need to get. Now, the cool thing is, people would say, Well, you're already part of the elite because you own some metal, right? You own something that very few people, less than 1% of the population owns around the world. But the problem is if that's bugging you to where you're going, I got to buy this or buy that, it's like, well, then just go buy it. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. I can't help you.
Let me know in the comments. We've got to get to CES.
Yes, we got to look for robot dogs that want to kill us.
Yeah, I'm really excited about figuring out what to expect in the future, how we're going to be tracked, what exactly going on. But if you're fasting for silver, hashtag fast for silver if you made it to the end of the video. And what that means is...
Dude, that's such a good idea.
You can fast till lunchtime and it will not kill you. I'm not a doctor. If you're diabetic, don't listen to anything I'm saying. I'm just saying most people have enough fat hanging off their body, they could live a long time without eating. It's autophagy. Check it out. I'm a big fan of fasting. So is he.
Oh, huge.
And you could literally save 20 to 50 bucks. I saved 40 bucks a day from when I was eating at my worst. Just fasting till lunchtime.
Yeah, because you gave the example of, I saw somebody on YouTube talking about this idea, and I got to be honest with you, they're not that bright because they were dissing this idea. And you gave the idea of in the morning your routine. If I heard you right, you'd go to work, you'd stop by Mickey D's, and you'd go buy a breakfast.
Sick,
yeah, exactly. You'd go buy some breakfast,
coffee, breakfast. I'd go for a break. I'd get a Red Bull. And maybe something, and at lunchtime we'd all go out and spend 20 bucks. And then fuel to go there and back. It was several miles, so I was looking at 50 bucks before lunch. I could have bought.
That's crazy.
Back then, I could have got maybe 3 coins, 2 or 3 coins every day.
Yeah, and by holding off and saying, look, I'm not going to eat until lunch. I'm going to prepare myself a good solid lunch. You're going to be healthier. You're going to be getting more cellular rejuvenation, and you got money in your pocket. But the only people that get upset by phrases like that or ideas like that are like angry vegans that don't own any metal themselves anyway. Yeah. So they don't understand finance. They just like to pick. But I'm going to be honest with you. When I heard that video, I thought it was one of the most brilliant ideas possible. But it goes in line with what I was saying about Starbucks coffee versus McDonald's. It's a $4 difference. That's 2 silver dimes. Like just making a choice each day and going, well, I'm just going to forgo that, and now I'm going to have a savings. Most people don't even have a savings. What's the national savings rate right now? At $500?
Oh man, I just did a video on it. It was if you have $2,000 to spend on an emergency fund,
you're like part of the elite.
Doing better than half of Americans.
Yeah,
if you have less than $6,500 in credit card debt, you're doing better than 50%.
That's disgusting because that just shows how much credit card debt's out there.
It really is. But guys, we're going to let you go. But remember, you don't have to fast. I'm just saying you could. What's the downside? I don't know. Is there a downside? The upside is you'll lose your gut and have a pocket full of silver at the end of the year. I'm talking 365 ounces.
Well, and we're doing it today. We're fasting all day until we're
in Vegas.
We're in Vegas. We're looking for robot dogs that are going to kill us.
All right, everybody.
Wait, hold on. Have an awesome day.
Later.
Yeah, got you back.